Music. It has the ability to carry thoughts and emotions throughout time. During the time of America's involvement with Vietnam in the 60s, there was a lot of debate going on regarding what was right, the right thing to do. You could really feel the passion behind popular songs from the time. The passion of the artists. Have you ever seen The Rain, for example, by Korean's Clearwater Revival? Was thought to have been a song about the war simply because it was released during the height of the war and might have made a reference to napalm. Another song, For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield, was seen as an anti-war song even though it never meant to be one. Today we will be asking people who were alive during the war their thoughts, memories, and emotions when they are played these songs from their time period.
Oh, I know you're set for fighting, but what are you fighting for?
I'm sure that I had heard this song before. My son was ready to go to Vietnam, but he said, I'm going to Canada, Mom. He was in his last year of college. And he said, I won't go, Mom. And I had mixed feelings, about it, but I wouldn't stop him. But the war ended just as he graduated. I think he was number 50, something like that. I didn't want it. I didn't want to send my son, and I don't mind all the other mothers feeling the same way. The apartment across from me, their son was killed in Vietnam. And I knew him, but was not. It was a terrible war. The words to that song give me the shivers.
I remember that one. Songs like that were quite unique in the fact that I, as a platoon leader, would get the mail from, I've always made myself responsible for making sure the guys got their mail, and I'd watch them as they read their letters and stuff. And some of them would get what they called a Dear John letter, that the wife or the girlfriend was going to leave them. Why the person chose to tell them they're in the middle of a war fighting, to tell them that they're going to leave them, or that they don't want to be with them anymore when they get back, not to look for them. Those are things that we were taught to look for, because we never know how they were going to react. They got a rifle, it's loaded, and you don't realize what the mine's going to do to that person. So if I thought there was something wrong with a guy when he's reading his letter, I would talk to him. And I would kind of counsel him. But basically, there was a lot of incidents where the guys would go nuts, because they can't do anything. They can't leave the country. They can't leave the area. And their wife or their girlfriend is telling them, don't come home. That's what they call the Dear John letter, which was terrible, but it did happen. And I have to tell you that happened to me. My wife was running around with some hippie guy, and I got notified that all the money I was sending her, she was not using on my, I had a daughter, she was not using the money to take care of the daughter, she was using it for drugs. So I had a personal experience with that, but I took it well. I used to listen to a lot of music. When you have, a lot of songs that they had that I used to listen to, sometimes there were songs that really stuck in my mind, but a lot of them were about the war.
Have you ever seen the rain?
Yes.
This one the tape?
Oh yeah, I remember that one very well. The reason I remember that is because when we were in the middle of monsoon, it would rain and rain and rain. I remember that. We were soaking wet all the time, and we'd get in these foxholes with full of water and stuff. But I remember that. We'd laugh about it, whenever we heard that song.